You get a chance, and we'll go off script as well, to see the Lost Screen Memorial and hear many of their children's stories tomorrow. I think it will resonate with you. I hope it will resonate with you in the same way it stayed with us. If we can go back to where we were, that's good, thank you. You've created the spaces for families to connect and to heal, and to all the parents who've been part of the Parents Network, we are accepting this award this evening for you, in honor of you.
It's World Mental Health Day, and Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, are in New York City tearing the house down. Last night, they attended the Project Healthy Minds World Mental Health Day Gala, where they received the Humanitarians of the Year award, well deserved, and they together delivered an amazing speech, and they had a fierce red carpet moment, which we will have its own video about that. Y'all already knew that was coming. I don't know why you act surprised. We are definitely doing a fierce Sussex style on those looks. Hell, the ponytail alone might get its own video. Let me know if y'all want that, because I could talk about that ponytail all day. I said, yes, ma'am. But that's not why we're here. We also have to talk about not only their attendance at the gala last night and that red carpet moment, but also today, World Mental Health Day Festival. They both gave speeches. They have more engagements to go. We are just getting started, and I'm going to be sharing my thoughts along the way. So let's get started. Thank you so much for clicking on my video, and if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, I wanted to say thank you so much to Leola Brown for supporting the channel through CashApp. I really appreciate your contribution, and I hope you're enjoying the content. So today we are going to be reading updates from Sussex.com detailing Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's trip to New York so far. We have plenty of updates, and we have to talk about their speeches, their red carpet look. We've got a lot to get into, but before we do, if you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to the channel, and please don't forget to share so that more people can find us. Once again, this update is coming to us from Sussex.com, and it's titled Honoring Families Transforming Grief into Action. You know, before we even get started, I'm trying not to interrupt too much, but before we even get started, I just have to say, this kind of reminds me of turning your pain into purpose. Something about Harry and Meghan's entire, I won't even say legacy, but you could say their whole legacy, their whole platform, everything about them, their essence. There's an alchemy about it. There's just like a certain alchemy. And we do know Meghan is a little bit woo-woo. I knew that when I saw the evil eye jewelry. I was like, oh, yes, ma'am, you're tapped in. A lot of their slogans, their terms, their advice, kind of the stances that they take, they're kind of rooted in alchemy, transforming what the world gives to you into what you want to see and put into the world, and embodying what you want to see in the world. It's alchemy at its finest, and transforming grief into action is absolutely aligned with that same kind of sentiment. I just thought that was interesting. Prince Harry and Meghan, Duke and Duchess of Sussex, were honored with Project Healthy Minds Humanitarians of the Year award at the nonprofit's third annual World Mental Health Day Gala in New York City. The recognition celebrates their sustained commitment to building safer digital environments for children and families, alongside their broader contributions to global mental health support and their initiative, the Parents Network. Their work began in 2020. Tracking the effects of online harms and consulting with Stanford University experts who had identified troubling findings about social media's impact on young people. After extensive research and meetings with families whose children's lives were irrevocably affected, the Duke and Duchess introduced the Parents Network 2 years ago at Project Healthy Minds World Mental Health Day Festival. A fitting venue, they noted, for launching a community designed to expand mental health support access while prioritizing online safety for families and young people. The scope of the challenge intensified dramatically since the Parents Network's inception. According to the Social Media Victims Law Center, more than 4,000 families were pursuing legal action related to social media harms, a figure the Duke and Duchess emphasized represented only a fraction of affected families, limited to those with the resources and capacity to take legal action through a single law firm. Quote, if these deaths and harm to children were unintended consequences 10 years ago, Prince Harry said, then what are they now? Ooh, ooh, exactly. This is why I genuinely appreciate that both Harry and Meghan are straight shooters. And it also kind of lends itself to why so many people try to get on board with silencing them or discrediting them or minimizing them or dismissing them altogether. There's a reason for that. And it's because they shake the table. It's because they highlight the things that a lot of people are profiting from. A lot of very powerful people are profiting from. And something that powerful people cannot stand is when a person who actually is trying to do right by the world has the same resources as them and can call it out without fear. They have the platform, they have the monetary means, they have the affiliations. They themselves are not only royal, but public figures. Meghan was a whole celebrity before she became royal. So they have a lot of privilege. And from that privilege, they don't just bask in it and they don't hoard. What they do is give. And what they also do is call out social issues, and they get to the root of the problem, where there are a lot of people who benefit from the things that they are talking about. There are a lot of people who probably don't want Prince Harry to ask a question like that. And that is exactly why those kinds of questions need to be asked. And it's exactly why those kinds of questions need to be asked by people like Harry and Meghan, because they have the means to get to the bottom of it and they have the platform to spread the word. They are, in a nutshell, some people's worst enemy, or worst nightmare, I should say. And it makes sense why certain, I won't call everybody out, but certain platforms, certain very powerful people, certain people in media, it makes sense, if you're aligned with that kind of thinking, why they would want to discredit Prince Harry and Meghan or dismantle their platform altogether. It's because your day is coming. If you are profiting from harm done, if you are profiting from this extremely negligent behavior these social media platforms embark on that have real results, tangible results, and unfortunately even result in death, if you profit from that, your day is coming. We see random people making comments about them and we're like, why did you say that to begin with? Why are you even worried about them? That's probably why. In some way, they are likely very connected to someone that this might be costing them money or projected to cost them money at some point. As we continue to see the work that Harry and Meghan do, and as we continue to see the impact and how much that impact has not only increased, but more people are getting on board. We just talked about the changes made to social media use for kids in Australia and Colombia. That's not by accident. Those changes happened as a direct result from the advocacy work from a lot of people. Harry and Meghan were some of the most outspoken about online safety. They also did a tour in Colombia. They also had a large part of their engagements centered around mental health and online safety. So they are making real change, and the more change they make and the more impact they make, the louder the haters, even the powerful ones, will get. The more people we will see try to either call them out, discredit them, dismiss them. And while a large part of that reason is because people have personal biases, which we have covered, that apply to Harry and Meghan, and they just don't want to see either one, a person like Prince Harry, who has been put into a box, break free and not allow someone else to define them. That's threatening to someone who uses their power and their money to suppress other people. That's bad for business. If I'm also doing the same thing to the people in my life that the royal family was doing to you, and now you've laid the blueprint on how to get the hell away, you might be inspiring people that I need to stay locked into my toxic cycle. You're bad for business. And then those personal biases might apply to Meghan for being a woman, for being a Black woman, for being American, for being a woman who did not need anyone else to define her. That in and of itself, royal or not, is intimidating to the society that's built on patriarchy. We don't want women to think they have options. We don't want women to walk away from things that do not suit them or benefit them. We don't want women strong and outspoken. Let's take their reproductive rights away. You know, let's put them down in the public eye. Let's minimize them to their laugh. Let's minimize them to their sexual orientation. Let's minimize them to their looks. Let's minimize them so that we don't hear what they're saying, because they're calling it out. And having a duo like Harry and Meghan team up to address the world's issues, for a lot of people, that's bad for business. And so as we continue to talk about the impact, it just continues to check off those boxes like, that's probably why that person had a random negative comment to say about Harry and Meghan. Oh, okay, yeah, they're scared. And they should be. If you are benefiting from loss or harm done to people in society, you should probably get out of that business. Recent research underscored the urgency. A study conducted by Parents Together found that researchers posing as children on AI chatbot platforms experienced harmful interactions every 5 minutes during 50 hours of observation. My goodness. Meanwhile, most teenagers and approximately 10% of children aged 5 to 8 had used AI chatbots, yet only 1 in 3 parents of these young users were aware of their children's engagement with the technology. Y'all, we have a whole video on the member side about the dangers of AI chatbots. Feel free to check that out. Quote, these are parents who knew passcodes, who talked about devices and social media profiles. They were engaged and loving families, and it still came for them. And Instagram is just one example. We could talk about Facebook. We could talk about TikTok. We could talk about Threads. We could talk about Twitter. The only one that I feel like operates with any integrity is Spoutable. That's how I feel genuinely. And I do feel like they've kind of laid the blueprint on how it can be done. You can have a thriving social media platform and is engaging without all the ads, without all the inboxes, without all the secret caveats. You can have that by operating with integrity. It's possible. And Christopher Bouzy has shown the way. Why they don't just use that blueprint and say, okay, you know what? Yeah, we still want to make money. We still want to have access to these chatbots, but we do need to put a few more barriers to access to them so that only adults can access them. And the information that they are getting is valid. It's not misinformation. And they're using the platform safely and respectfully with integrity. We can do that and still have a thriving social media experience. They just don't want to. The network evolved from a support community for bereaved parents into an international organization spanning the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. At the gala, the Duke and Duchess announced that the Parents Network was joining forces with Parents Together, positioning the initiative for broader reach and deeper impact as technology continued its rapid evolution. The move represented what they described as a natural evolution to enable the community to continue to grow and have more impact alongside the rapid rise of technology. The expansion built on the foundation laid by co-creators Lennon Flowers and Lior Wolf-Prusen, alongside community managers including Brandy and Tony Roberts, Kirsten Ryan, and Amy Neville, who facilitated healing spaces for affected families. The gala supported Project Healthy Minds' ambitious goal to connect more than 10 million Americans with mental health services through its free digital marketplace over the decade. Let's pause there. But I want to make a note of this, and this might actually just become a permanent staple in my description box under my videos, because I think this is incredible. They offer a free digital marketplace for Americans to reach mental health care services, and the marketplace is free. That's a resource right there embedded in this. So I'm going to use that information. I'm going to put that in the description box below so that that's under every video in case you need it or someone you know may need it. Philip Shermer, the nonprofit's founder and CEO, emphasized the alignment between this mission and the Duke and Duchess's work. Quote, "It is a privilege to honor Prince Harry and Meghan, Duke and Duchess of Sussex, at our World Mental Health Day Gala this year," Shermer said. "Their leadership, generosity, and unwavering commitment to advancing mental health awareness have made a profound difference in the lives of so many." Prince Harry and Meghan co-founded the Archewell Foundation in 2020 with a straightforward mission: show up, do good. The Parents Network represented one manifestation of this commitment, Alchemy, addressing what the couple viewed as an intersection of child safety, mental health, and the responsibilities that came with technological advancement. We know that the challenges ahead are significant, but we also know that when parents come together, when communities unite, real change is possible. Now, at the bottom of this update, we have the resources, to the research that's been done, as well as the collective action.
Tonight, we're all here together to focus on what remains one of the most pressing issues of our time. 4,000. That's how many families the Social Media Victims Law Centre is currently representing. Families whose children have been harmed or lost forever to social media. Parents who have learned legal action is possible, who have the capacity to pursue it while grieving, and parents who found their way to help in the fight back against some of the wealthiest, most powerful corporations in the world.
Our children, Archie and Lily, are just 6 and 4 years old, can you believe it? Luckily, still too young for social media, but we know that day is coming. And like so many parents, we think constantly about how to embrace technology's benefits while safeguarding against its dangers.
This wasn't content created by a third party. These were the company's own chatbots working to advance their own depraved internal policies. But here's what gives us hope. These families are not facing this alone. Kids and parents are coming together, mobilizing in inspiring ways by creating the Balance Project. Expanding the parents' movement and supporting them throughout is how real change happens. That's why we are so proud to announce tonight that the Parents Network is joining forces with Parents Together. This is a natural evolution to enable the community to continue to grow and have more impact alongside the rapid rise of technology.
And if you do get a chance, I will go off script as well to see the Lost Screen Memorial and hear many of their children's stories tomorrow. I think it will resonate with you. I hope it will resonate with you in the same way it stayed with us. If we can go back to where I was good, thank you. You've created the spaces for families to connect and to heal. And to all the parents who've been part of the Parents Network, we are accepting this award this evening for you, in honor of all the parents in this community. This expansion to Parents Together represents both our commitment as well as the acknowledgement that we need to reach more families to create greater and faster change. Together we can, and we will, build the movement that all families and all children deserve. We know that when parents come together, when communities unite, waves are made. And with your support, we'll continue building a safer digital world for all of our children. So on behalf of my husband and I, thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you all of you for your support, and thank you for standing with us as we continue this vital work. Thank you, we appreciate it.
All right, and for our second update, the title is Community-Led Solutions Highlighted During World Mental Health Day. Y'all recognize that top? This is Meghan's top, the Ralph Lauren top that she wore to Wimbledon, and we've seen her wear it a couple of times since then, but it's most known for when she wore it to Wimbledon, and it is still just as beautiful as ever. Prince Harry and Meghan, Duke and Duchess of Sussex, opened the Project Healthy Minds' 4th annual World Mental Health Day Festival in New York City by emphasizing a powerful theme that emerged from the last 3 years of their foundation's work. Mental health is fundamentally a community responsibility, not an individual challenge. I could not agree more. As the world's largest gathering on World Mental Health Day, the all-day festival featured programming led by prominent voices in mental health, wellness, and culture, designed to destigmatize conversations and reshape the future of care. The Archewell Foundation sponsored 3 panels throughout the festival's programming. Wow! Prince Harry started the morning's programming with an introduction that noted the widespread nature of our global mental health crisis. Quote, "These are not separate problems for separate people. They are interlocking injuries to our global community. Mental health is shaped by public health, foreign policy, climate policy, corporate design, and economic choices. Too often, decisions made by a few powerful actors ripple across the planet and into every aspect of our lives." See, I feel like this is just another example of what I mean about them being straight shooters and possibly stepping on toes that need to be stepped on. But the thing about it is that they're powerful enough to not only step on those toes, but actually induce real change. That's what makes them so powerful, and that's what makes their work so valuable. Prince Harry also pointed out that our digital world has fundamentally changed how we experience reality. Young people exposed to relentless comparison, harassment, misinformation, and an attention economy designed to keep us scrolling at the expense of sleep and real human contact. We're kind of like in Wall-E. Following Prince Harry's opening remark, a panel moderated by Gior Craig and sponsored by the foundation explored youth in the digital age with Eileen Arezia, the executive director of Parents Together, Jayla Stokesbury, a research assistant at Hope Lab, Isabel Sunderland, policy lead at Design It For Us, and Katie S., a junior in high school. Wow. The conversation centered the experience of youth with social media as well as the potential for impact when young people become activists and change policy at the local, state, and national level. The Duchess then introduced a panel featuring social psychologist Jonathan Haidt's examination of how technology rewired childhood and caused an international mental health crisis with Amy Neville, community manager of the Parents Network, and Kirsten Ryan, a parent advocate, moderated by journalist Katie Couric. Wow. The Duchess shared insights drawn from the Archewell Foundation's work across multiple communities experiencing crisis and trauma. Their observations centered on a consistent pattern. The most effective healing emerged not from services alone, but from communities of shared experience. 3 years ago, we met families whose worlds had shattered, parents who had lost children to social media-driven suicide, others watching their kids struggle with depression, anxiety, and self-harm linked to online platforms. What began as individual tragedies became the foundation for the Parents Network, community that grew from a small pilot in November of 2022 to a global support system serving families across 3 countries by August 2024. She emphasized that bereaved parents required more than traditional therapy. Quote, "The parents who lost children to social media didn't just need therapy. They needed other parents who understood their specific grief. When these parents came together, they weren't just sharing stories. They were creating a movement. Utilizing trauma-informed practices, they turned their grief into advocacy when they let love fuel their fight for change." Wow. The Duchess also outlined how this principle of community-driven healing manifested across the Archewell Foundation's initiatives. Their partnership with Girls Inc. and Half the Story reached young girls in underserved communities, addressing body image and online safety while building networks of resilience. Wow. The foundation sponsored an additional panel focused on mental health during humanitarian crisis. Throughout the day, the Lost Screen Memorial was featured at both the front entrance and rooftop of the festival, serving as a visual reminder of the lives affected by online harms. This marked the second time the Duke and Duchess supported Project Healthy Minds World Mental Health Day events. The organization is a millennial and Gen Z-driven mental health tech nonprofit dedicated to expanding access to mental health services across the United States. Its programmatic initiatives serve more than 200,000 people annually. In 2023, the Archewell Foundation produced conversations with the Parents Network families about social media's impact on youth. All this work was highlighted during the Project Healthy Minds Gala the previous night, where the Duke and Duchess were honored as Humanitarians of the Year. As Laura Marquez Garrett, an attorney with the Social Media Victims Law Center, noted, "You didn't just create a support network, you created and sustained a movement with your kindness and refusal to give up. You made the world a better and safer place in a way that will never stop giving, no matter what happens next." The Duchess concluded with a call to recognize mental health as a shared responsibility. Quote, "While the research is sobering, the solutions are within reach, especially when parents, advocates, and communities come together." At the time of recording this, that was the last update, but I assume there's going to be a new update coming very, very soon, which I will update you tomorrow on that and give my thoughts, because at this moment, Prince Harry is sitting on his final panel of the day. Unfortunately, Meghan did not join him on this one. Prince Harry is sitting in on the mental health and psychosocial response to humanitarian crisis panel, but Meghan has not joined him for this one. Quote, "This session will highlight how preparedness, early intervention, and culturally grounded approaches can and must be integrated into humanitarian response," the itinerary shares. Experts will share strategies for stabilizing individuals, supporting frontline workers, and building local capacity, enabling communities to recover with dignity, resilience, and collective healing. This panel has been created in partnership with Harry and Meghan's Archewell Foundation.
Well, we are so thrilled to be here to support, of course, what is happening in this space and on this very important day with Project Healthy Minds. So for this next panel, we're going to turn to one of the most urgent questions facing families today. What's happening to childhood? And how and what do we do to allow our children to just be children?
It's our community. And over the next several hours, you'll hear from remarkable people, researchers, advocates, parents, young people, and leaders who are reshaping how we approach our mental health here in America and around the world. Now, the past
Thank you so much for watching the SharionSade YouTube channel. I appreciate you watching my content. If you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video by hitting the thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe by hitting the subscribe button. And don't forget to comment along the way. If you feel so inclined, please don't forget to share so that more people can find us. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, so we have to talk about their red carpet moment last night at the gala. So Meghan wore a black pantsuit, and from what it looks like, either she had on a nude top or bodysuit underneath or nothing underneath. But surprisingly, nothing was showing, even though there's nothing underneath. And that is, one, attributed to great tailoring and a well-picked outfit, but also a classy Duchess will always find a way to do what she wants to do while also remaining tactful. So yeah, it's a great outfit. I love this. I actually think it's a bit daring to not wear a top underneath. And I was a little surprised when I saw that. And I just was like, ma'am, we are not worthy. I love this era. I love this era. When she described this era as her era of joy, I could not agree more. I mean, she's just living. Man, is it great to see both of them just living. I love it so much. So this is a Giorgio Armani Mulberry silk single-breasted jacket in black. And then the pants are also Giorgio Armani, and they're the mulberry wide leg silk trousers. They are beautiful. Like, did you see the pants galloping across her leg and on her shoe as she was walking? It was just beautiful. She also wore Giorgio Armani velvet court shoes with an asymmetric top. That is really cool. I never noticed the top of the shoe. But yeah, that's really cool. She actually wore these before on another trip to New York, but she also wore these pants when they opened the Warrior Fitness program in San Diego, which was super cool. Now, the one thing that caught my eye immediately about Meghan's look was the necklace. This is not her typical look, so it stood out to me. I absolutely loved it, and I thought, What a bold, brave, but also genius choice to go with a giant chunky chain link necklace with no top underneath. It definitely called to the eye, but it looked great underneath all that black. It just popped. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. The necklace is the Anine Bing double link chain necklace in gold, of course. And then her earrings are Guzema flat earrings, and they're diamonds and yellow gold. Beautiful. I love them paired together. It looks fantastic. I love the all black, and I love that they did black velvet. There's just something so classic about that. I'm a millennial. All of my holiday clothes were velvet. So all of my holiday dresses for church were velvet. So there's just something so special when I see a nice velvet outfit. But they both look stunning. They both wore black suits. Obviously, Prince Harry wore a white shirt and a black tie underneath with a nice haircut. I love this haircut. I don't know if he got a new barber or what, but I love this haircut. That lineup is sharp. Do you hear me? I said, you better work. New York brings out the best in them, I should say, especially their fashion. They really do it when they're in New York. I love it so much. They both look beautiful. Meghan wore a little bit darker makeup, which was perfect for this suit, by the way. It was giving very much power suit, and the makeup followed suit. I thought it was perfect. But one thing that I loved was this ponytail. And again, we're going to have a Sussex style about this, so I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I love this ponytail, especially since in Paris, she gave us a bun, not too much on the hair because the face and the clothes were the moment. But I love that she allowed the hair to essentially be an accessory here. And not only that, but Ben Skirvin, her hairstylist, said that this is his favorite ponytail, like the way he did it, as he said, the textured ponytail. And I love this. I absolutely love this. I also love that she let it down a little bit. Like she just kind of gave you a swept back, but it was down, it was teased. It was very much a moment on its own. And it definitely fell in line with the whole power suit moment. Perfect for a red carpet. I've seen so many videos and photos of them on the red carpet. They were having fun. They were having a good time. They both look so happy. They look refreshed. They look like they're having the time of their life. And they look like they're ready to get to business. I thought they looked phenomenal. Both of them. They looked great. And I want to know who cut Harry's hair. They got it right. So yeah, those are my thoughts at this time. Now, this is New York, technically day one, but you know, Prince Harry participated in a panel yesterday, but this is technically day one for the couple. They have a lot going on. So at this time, this is the last engagement and the final panel that we'll talk about. Obviously, we'll go into more depth. So if you have any thoughts, and I'm sure you do, leave them in the comment section below. If you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to share so that more people can find us. Members, you just got a new video. I hope you enjoy it. It's from Vogue. Vogue is still fanning out over Meghan's fashion in Paris, and it spawned a whole new set of ideas and a whole new list of little black dresses. And so we go through Vogue's picks and we talk about them over on the member side. So I hope you guys enjoyed that Sussex style. So that's all I have. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.